What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here, and we're here today on another Thursday to talk about some wonderful White Sox baseball. Yeah, right. They haven't won in a week. This might be worse than last year. They only scored one run. I think one run a game in the Cleveland series, and lost a bunch. It was just not a good time. It has not been a good week, and it's more of the same. So let's not waste any more time and let's get the guys in here and let's talk about this wonderful season that is only 12 games in of the Chicago White Sox baseball. What's up, Justin? How you doing?
What's going on, Tino? Go Sox.
What's up, Deech? How you doing?
Yeah, winless since we last spoke, so it's been.
We thought we were going to get at least two. We got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, minimally, you thought a win would not be too much of an ask, but here we are. So
here we are again, and it's funny because I looked it up last week. I was like, when did they get their third win? I think they went like 2 in like 14 or whatever. I just can't.
What, last year?
Yeah, I forgot when they got their third win, but I was like, oh, maybe a week ago. I'm like, okay, maybe we'll get out there. And here we are. So they are now 2-10, right? 2-10. Yeah, right. after
yeah.
Today. Yeah, 2-10. They're obviously in last place, the worst team in the American League. Offense has been awful, and they have not done absolutely nothing. The pitching has not been very good. The bullpen has looked awful. And in the way they lost last night, the Chicago White Sox is just the Chicago White Sox way. But I don't feel like dealing with it today. So, Deech, you're taking over again. So, Deech, you take over everything and start talking about it.
Okay. Well, before we really dig into anything, you stated that we're the worst team in the American League. Are we somehow not the worst team in all
Colorado? Colorado's right there. I don't know if they're quite 2-10 yet. And maybe this week got another win.
We were tied yesterday, so I don't know if the Rockies played yet.
Oh, okay. I just was curious.
The Braves are 2-9, so they got us by half a game. Because they didn't play. I don't think they played yet today.
Yeah, but that's going to turn around. I mean, I don't know if they're what they've been the past few years, but I don't think they're going to be at the cellar with us at the end of the season.
Definitely not the Braves, no.
No, Colorado maybe. I don't know anything about their team.
Colorado won today, so they're 3-9, and they beat the Brewers. Man, the Brewers they're 7-6, but they're not doing so good. But so I guess anything is better. But Deech, what do you want to start off with?
I mean, we could just briefly go through a recap of the previous two series.
What are we recapping of it?
The bullpen, I know we touched on it last week. I just like the implosions were just ridiculous this week. I just the not finding the strike zone, I think really just lost a majority of the games that we did lose. I mean, they can't hit, but if your pitchers are just walking people constantly, it's not going to become any less of an issue if it keeps happening. So, again, Shane Smith, another great outing. Martin Perez, another great outing. And they can never seem to give them enough run support. So, I guess that's really all the recap we can go through. I mean, unless you guys have anything to add.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. The fact that they were winning 3-1 and then they score 3 runs and nobody can find it. Like it's fine. Okay, you lose the game. Jose Ramirez, it's a home run. It's whatever. But you don't have a walk off. Like we've seen that too many times in the last 2 years. That I mean, it's just ridiculous. These guys can't find the strike zone, and they don't have the right relief pitchers to be in these high leverage situations that are, and it just, I don't even know where they're going to go with it because every guy they think they can use, they can't. And then, and as you talked about it before off camera, Jonathan Cannon only going 4 innings almost every start. The bullpen is destroyed, and it's like a continuous loop that's never going to end.
Yeah, there's really not much more to add. I mean, I'm glad I went to Jewel after the Sox didn't score in the 9th 2 days ago. And I stopped watching after the 7th yesterday to watch Severance instead. And I'm very glad I made both those decisions because I mean, that shit last night, I don't even know which is worse. I mean, it's torture.
Yes. I think the game last night is a perfect example of the White Sox luck, and everything. I mean, what other team has somebody strain a hamstring trying to round third base as the tying run? Only the White Sox. If it was the Guardians, that would have went under Benintendi's legs. Whoever was in left, I know Benintendi's on the IL, but it would have went over the Guardians. Would have won. And that's the thing. It's like even when we get guys on, we can't even get them in because all weekend we had guys on first and third, nobody out, can't get a run in, hop fly. I'll give the one thing that they're doing good is taking pitches and taking walks. I think that's the biggest improvement I've seen in the last 12 games, 13 games, whatever the hell we're in. Or, yeah, 12 games. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so getting into that, we'll bounce around a little bit here. I mean, just as a standard note here, the has been better as well.
So what? Your thing cut out for a second.
Oh, I said the approach and discipline seems to be a lot better than previous years. Granted, most of the team is different than previous years. But like Robert is not hitting, but he is walking probably more than he ever has in his career. I can't figure it out, though. The results obviously are not there because you can walk two guys on base, but then if the next three guys have no chance of hitting the baseball, then, I mean, that's kind of where we're at here. So do you guys feel like the at-bats have at least been better in the sense of they're not just swinging at garbage constantly?
Certain guys, yeah, but I still see it from Vaughn. Vaughn's done it a million times. Jacob Amaya can't hit a beach ball if they put it right in front of him. The torpedo bats would probably lose its flavor from him because I think that's the biggest thing. It's like some guys are, but like the guys that are walking aren't hitting. The guys that are kind of hitting, like it's just and yes, it's 12 games in, but at this point we've now lost 32 games in the last two seasons. I mean, I'm like numb to losing at this point. Like I don't even know what to say anymore.
It doesn't even affect me. I mean, like I said, I'm glad I didn't watch it yet. Like watching it happen is tough, but like the actual losing, like they lost again, like whatever. I wanted them to win games this year. I did not come into this rooting against them, but it's taken what was it? It was 2 weeks ago, opening day, Deech. It seems like a million fucking years ago.
So bad, maybe I need to go back to Chicago. They won when I was in Chicago. Maybe that's the issue.
Dude, they beat the Angels on opening day, and I was like, man, the Angels might not be that much better than them. Like that lineup kind of sucks, and it kind of does. I mean, but
it does, and they're in first.
The problem is that
7-3.
Are they?
Yeah, they were in first place at 7-3. They're 8-4 right now.
You know what? I'm happy for that.
It's so bad. Like
it would be great to have Mike Trout in the playoffs. How about that?
It would. It really would.
So I mean, we can go away from the pitching then.
Shane Smith has been good.
Yeah,
like I think he's been the biggest highlight of anything. Yeah. Even Sean Burke last night or the night before, he kind of looks like he's kind of come back to.
Yeah, he was last night. It was a rocky start. He's settling a little bit, but yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Like when you say like Martin Perez is pitching well like that, like
he'll be gone in July. Chuck even said it last night.
Do anything for them in terms of building a foundation here, like.
I feel like we're the Marlins now. I just watched a documentary on it too. Some YouTuber did it where they were just talking about the repeating cycle of this, and I just feel like the White Sox are the same thing.
They are to a degree. I mean, the Marlins literally get rid of everybody. The Sox are they're in a cycle of their own, which is that it's another failed rebuild on the way. I'm afraid.
So bad. It is.
The thing that still pops out in my head is that one game in Detroit where I think it was Ellard sat there and got out of the first inning he pitched. Then he started. I don't know if he walked a guy, hit a guy.
It was Clevinger that he got out of the eighth, and then they kept him in.
Yeah, but I mean they had like 6 walks where and the at bats were not like, oh, it was like a full count. It was like 4 straight balls, and you're just like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. I don't understand the strategy with the bullpen at all. I just from watching, Leisure never looked comfortable in high leverage last year, and they overused the shit out of him, and he did not look comfortable on the mound at all. when he essentially did he walk in the last run?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
no, Torkelson I think got a hit, but I mean they walked the bases loaded or whatever.
That was that game.
I don't know.
What day
There's
was
not
this?
really a ton of veterans that stick out. I mean, is that his name? Tyler Anderson pitched. He's the
Is
lefty.
that the guy they just called up?
Yeah, who came off the injured list.
Is it Tyler Anderson? It doesn't matter. I know who you're talking about, though.
I can't remember his name, but he pitched the other day. He looked decent. He looked like he could actually handle hitters. Clevenger has looked awful.
Oh, yeah. I was pissed when he pulled him for Clevenger with 2 outs in the 8th. Was it? Yeah, it was 2 outs in the 8th.
Yeah.
And he'd come in and gotten 5 guys out. And
Yeah.
then he goes and plays a matchup with a fucking switch hitter with Jose Ramirez. And I get that this guy's up and making his – I mean, I don't know how much this guy's pitched in the major leagues, but, like, you go get the veteran for Jose Ramirez. Like, I understand it to a degree, but, like, I also – Ramirez, I think he drove the ball in the air, I think, just out to the wrong part of the park. And that part of me was like, I kind of hope that goes just as a spite, you know?
Yeah.
I was upset about that. I mean, I'm not going to get hung up on managerial decisions for a team that is going to lose 100-something games. But give me 1 second. My mother's calling me.
Okay, I'll take you out. Go on.
So, I mean, with Justin gone, the hitting, there's not much to say about it. They can't score. They can't really put together consecutive hits or hit with runners on base.
I got one hand. Like that, it's just, and again, I'm taking the walks, I'm getting on base, and like Matt Thassis, or how the heck do you say his last name? Is this
Dice?
There we go, like thrice, Dice. I mean, I think that they're doing good and everything, but it just like with a lot of the same things. They're swinging out balls out of the strike zone. They're just looking at pitches, or like today in the 9th inning, they looked like they gave up. They were like they all just looked like they looked at strike 3 and they're like, well, we don't care. On to back to Chicago, and it's like, are we really gonna have this all? Like, I feel like, especially like when Will Venable walks out to make the pitching change, I feel like it's like the same thing. It's just a different person. And I'm not blaming Will. I'm not saying nothing about Will, but I just feel like the same type of things are happening, and Will, I don't know, and it just I don't know. It makes. I was just hoping that it wasn't gonna be to the point where we are at like this again, to where now, again, who the hell knows when they're gonna win another baseball game? That's kind of how I feel.
I mean, before we get into anything else, I'm just trying to look at it as if they continue to play this bad, these young guys that we've acquired and sat and build up the farm system, they're going to force their way up. I can't imagine for the next however many games leading up till the All-Star break that they're just going to be content to just get their clocks cleaned every single night. So, I mean, like we saw, like Mydruth is getting the call up, which was confirmed now. It'll be interesting to see who they who gets the boot or who gets sent down.
Well, you know
Jake.
Huh? I'll go ahead.
I was gonna say Jacob Amaya, I think might be the guy, but it would be a DFA. He doesn't have any options, so it depends. I want to say Brooks Baldwin may have options, but do you want to get rid of that versatility just to sit and hold on to Amaya? I don't really know. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out at least. But I mean, that's at least I'm trying to look at it as positive as possible. Mydruth coming up is, I guess, really just the start of the youth movement, because you have to imagine either Kyle Teal or Edgar Caro should be probably following him pretty shortly. And then after that, I mean, there's some of the pitching eventually will come up. And
well, I mean, and that's okay. And like, we haven't even talked about it. Yesterday, Corey Lee got hurt. Mike Talkman obviously hurt his hamstring. Andrew Benintendi, I said his name earlier, he went on the injured list. And there's 3 guys right there that are supposed to help the Sox in their lineup. And obviously, and Talkman was doing good. And that is something that I do want to ask you. I completely forgot to say it about yesterday's game. But what are you guys thinking? Because do you think they should have pitched run for Talkman yesterday? Because they brought up the dude that they just got. Is it Greg Jones, the dude from the Rockies? And I didn't even know.
He was there yesterday, though? That was my question.
I guess so, because Chuck made it sound like he was. So that was just my thing with it. And it just like, It's a continuous cycle. We're back to injuries, and it doesn't matter. It's not the same. Can't blame Eloy, can't blame Anderson, can't blame Moncada. It's just three new guys that are on this team that are now not in the lineup, and here we go again. But I did want to ask you. I forgot to mention it earlier.
Run for Talkman
Yeah, with
just
the Panthers.
because of the injury that he came into the season with.
I mean, yeah, that's right.
I don't know. No, I probably wouldn't have run. I mean, I guess. I mean, knowing he got hurt, sure. I don't know. I
Well, I guess
feel like he runs pretty well, though, right? I mean,
that's the thing too, because they even said it yesterday. They were talking about like having somebody run for Vaughn too, but
well,
Vaughn.
yeah. Well, he's the slowest motherfucker in the league.
I mean, I don't know about slowest. But yeah.
I also think something that played into that, whether they were going to or not pinch run for him, I believe if Jones was actually there, he was the last person on the bench. So I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, because they burned through the bench.
Yes, because whoever was, I think they pinch hit at least two people, and then Corey Lee went down. So I mean, then you had Dyson there.
Yeah,
so I mean, that was it. Where I don't know that you pinch run him at that point, and then just completely wipe out your bench, especially considering I mean, Corey Lee's injury. It was a typical White Sox. Like I don't know that you can blame it on fundamentals, but like, come on.
It's cursed. It's that bad. Is what
You can blame the fundamental aspect of like, why are you getting thrown behind? Like, why have you put yourself in a position in which they're throwing behind you, trying to get you back at first, that you're caught in between bags? So that part of it is fundamental. And yeah, I mean, he obviously made a misstep stepping back to the base. And it's just I've never seen so many guys get hurt stepping on first base. And the fact that this is still a thing, even after shedding like your Eloy, your Johans, you know, these guys who were always nicked up, Tim Anderson, like now they still have guys who are always hurt. I mean, Benny's hurt again, and like he was actually hitting. And you look at the lineup today without him and Robert getting the day off. It's like, dude, they don't have any good players.
But Robert needed a day off. I mean,
dude, he made 3 outs on 3 pitches batting leadoff last night. That's horrible.
Yeah. Well, and when he does get on base, they're sending him like every single time, which like I always get nervous only because he's gotten hurt running the bases before. So, I mean, when you're doing it like especially 4 times a game, possibly the chances are pretty high that it's not going to end well. One of them at least. So
if we're here next week talking about more injuries, I'm done. I give up. We'll be 19. Said what? I mean, they play the Athletics next week. They should at least win the Athletics series.
I don't know about that.
I know.
I don't think that they should win a series against anybody. I wouldn't really take this team up against anyone. Maybe they will.
A AAA team or a T-ball team.
They might sneak a couple series wins in there, but yeesh. I would never go into one being like, they'll win this.
I feel, didn't the Athletics dominate us last year too?
Yeah, they always do. It's irritating.
No, I felt like last year was just bad because they have a ton of guys that are fast.
It was, yeah. Oh no,
yeah, you could just steal on them.
It was last year, but there's been a few years that they're like. I remember the freaking remember the Chris Davises or the freaking
Chris Davis with a K.
Yeah, I can't. There's a couple other guys, but man, those A's games were.
When they had like Cespedes and Coco Crisp and
that's who
they had Donaldson on those teams too.
Coco Crisp and man.
What's his face who was on Houston? Reddick.
Josh Reddick's that man like that. I always remember the one game that they played. They were up by like 6 runs, and of course the bullpen came up and blew it, and they lost like 9-8 or something like that. I remember sitting at Dave and Buster's, and the bartenders all look at me and laugh because they knew how big of a Sox fan I was. So you guys all suck. I was like, leave me alone.
Yeah, the Coliseum was a house of horrors for them for sure. That's how I remember it. But I miss it. It's a disgrace that they're playing in a minor league park. Is that here or in Oakland this series?
That's in Oakland, I believe.
Or Sacramento, whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I keep messing that up too.
The Rays are also playing in a minor league field. I didn't know that, obviously, because of their field being destroyed, but I didn't know that they were still playing there this year. So I got some numbers for you. During the 8-game losing streak, they have scored 16 runs. They are batting .194. They have 2 home runs, and they are 10-60 with runners in scoring position. That's beautiful, isn't it? It's just like, and that's not. I don't even was that yeah that was counting today too because I took that today. Yeah, I mean I just can't even like get over the fact of those numbers. And even Ozzy said there's not a guy on there I think batting over 200 right now.
Yeah, I
Benny was the only one.
Of course he was. I hate to see it. Hopefully Chase Mydrift comes up and does it and everything. Because what he go right to shortstop, right? I'm assuming that like his main position. I don't really
I
know too
mean,
much
he'll
about
play
him,
short. He'll probably play short and second base. I can't say Sosa or Baldwin has been really lighting it up either. So I'm sure they'll probably just keep platooning everyone everywhere. So it'll be interesting too. With Corey Lee going down, they called up Omar Narvaez, who we've already had in Chicago before. I'm interested to see how much playing time he gets.
I saw a replay today of one of the triple plays they turned in 2016. Remember how they turned like multiple that year? It was the one against Texas on like the fly out to Eaton, and they had the guy in a pickle between third and home, and the catcher was Narvaez, and I just laughed. I was like, 9 years later,
he's back,
and he's back, and they. And just that team and how we thought that was rock bottom as White Sox fans, and like how we've just come in the 9 years since he's been here, just completely reinvented rock bottom. Like
that's a great word.
To think that problem at that point was that they were mired in mediocrity, or so to speak. And now it's like the laughing stock of professional sports.
Who did the Red Sox just sign? Let me know.
The Red Sox? Oh, they signed Grandal a little bit ago before we got on this call to a minor league deal.
I'm fucking done. That's funny. They're all going. There we go.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see that. Good.
Yeah. Saw that on Twitter.com. Yohan was placed on the. That's the least surprising news I've ever read.
I was gonna say some things change and some things stay.
It was like his finger or something too.
Right.
Where it's just like, come on, dude.
Like I want to go on so bad, but like I forgot how much like it's not fun to watch. Like, thankfully I could watch the other teams, but I don't know.
How many years did you say it was? What, 9 years ago? You said Narvaez was like about 9.
Yeah, I don't remember if he trickled into that 2017 team or not, but he was definitely here in 16. I'm trying to think who he would have been.
Because wasn't 16 the year we had Jimmy Rollins, Brett Lawrie? Wasn't that was the year we started off 21? Was it 21-10?
21-10, and then they just
that was the time. Man, I remember the Cubs and Sox were in they
were the best teams in both league at the end of April.
It was going to be a Chicago World Series. We were all doing everything, and it was
and we ended up having a group of Cleveland.
2016 to 2018 is when he was here. So his first year was 16.
Yeah, okay, so that was his first year. So he was here for those crap years too. Okay, but either way, that replay that I saw, it was even still.
I feel like we've had at least 10 catchers since then, though. Like, they have not had a catcher.
No, it just blurs together. I mean, there's the Grandal years, but even he was hurt a lot, so you were still dealing with whatever Zach Collins or Reese McGuire, whoever, what have you, whatever crappy left-handed hitter was behind him.
Well, and they added who was that one catcher they added, and then he got popped for PEDs like immediately. Wellington Castillo. He had like a solid year the year before, and then he just gets popped. And I was at the game. They yank him, and I look on Twitter, and I'm like, this motherfucker. Like,
I mean, what's the dude from the Braves freaking decided? What's his name? Jurassic Profar.
Yeah. He just Well, yeah, he was below average player his whole career, then just skyrocketed last year. I mean, that was probably one of the easier tests that they ever facilitated.
I mean, Omar Narvaez was actually pretty good on the Braves and the Mets for like a second. I mean,
was he with the? I thought he was with the Brewers.
Oh, the Brewers. I'm sorry, not the Braves. The Brewers. We were just talking. Yeah.
He was with the Cubs at one point too, wasn't he?
No, just the Mariners. He wasn't bad on the Mariners. Like, it's funny, after just like Reese McGuire went to the Red Sox and decided that he was going to learn how to hit the ball. And I don't think he was ever bad on the Sox, but like it's like they give up on these guys too, or like I always talk about, we could build a team of great players that we had before if they
It's
would have
not
just
about them
kept them
giving
going.
up though. It's about them not knowing how to turn these guys into productive players.
Well, exactly. Well, that was and that's the thing where it's just like it's funny they go to different organizations and figure it out, and it's
Yeah.
just not do it with anybody. Doesn't matter who it is. It's like they gotta you got it's like they gotta trade for them already developed. Then instead of like trying to develop them, I feel like with wrestling, like they try to build these stars, but the guys have to be released to go and build themselves up in another like company and then come back because they like I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's where on record I will just say right now, the Garrett Crochet trade was the closest you were probably going to get to that in regards to getting guys that were pretty much already developed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you said that. I was like, there's a reason why the guys who everybody is clamoring about in the minor leagues are the guys who, I mean, one got called up today. One people assumed was going to get the call when Lee went down yesterday, and the other one, obviously, Montgomery is a ways away. But yeah, that's exactly right. That's
especially with them going home too. I think bringing up Teal would bring some more people into the games this weekend because
No, they know they're going to sell tickets. It's the Red Sox. There's certain series that they will do well attendance-wise, and the Red Sox were one of them.
Well, it's supposed to be nice on Saturday too. I don't know about I don't know about the
There's
other
a
games.
way too. It's like a retro hoodie jersey type.
Yeah, but tomorrow night's 45 and rainy. Saturday, or no, I'm sorry, that's tonight. 50 tomorrow. Yeah, I think they should draw pretty well this weekend for Boston. But you're right. They don't need to do this to get people here, and that is a nice giveaway.
So I don't know. I mean, it's Kyle Teal and Caro. They don't seem to be moving up anytime soon. I think they're going to just sit there and let them marinate in AAA for a bit. Probably work together to at least get like the duo acclimated to each other. But Theis hasn't been terrible. I mean, Corey Lee was they really wasn't getting a ton of playing time. Theis has looked solid too. I mean, for what we signed him for, it's not like we were expecting him to like pop off or anything, but he works counts. There's some Grandal wouldn't do that shit. He'd walk, but like, so I mean, towards the end of Grandal's tenure with the White Sox, it was just like, what is this? Like, you're just going up in half swinging. So,
I think that's been the biggest thing is like some of these guys, like, and that's like, especially like him and like Talkman before he got hurt, is like some of these at bats were getting like 9-10 pitches. And that's good because then you get the pitch count up. And if we get into some of these bullpens, obviously besides Cleveland, but they're really good. And, we had them last night, but I mean, that's just the way you got to do it because these starters just don't go as long as they all used to and these bullpens just, like the teams do to us. They take our starters out in the fourth, and then our bullpen's destroyed. Why can't we just do that to other teams?
Yeah, the outfield's pretty barren though now, in regards to getting any sort of power production out of it. I mean, with Talkman on the IL and Benny on the IL, it's pretty bad. But to kind of segue,
too.
Did you see Oscar Colas got demoted even further?
Where did he go?
They demoted Colas to Double-A now.
No, that's funny. I didn't see that.
Where like when Greg Jones got called up, someone's like, "What happened to Oscar Colas?" And I'm like, that's not a good sign at all. I mean, you were in the majors. What you see? He literally broke camp with the Sox. 2 years ago?
I mean, I hope Greg Jones comes up and does.
It was opening day, yeah.
That's right. It was opening day. I mean, there's so many players that like we could do a whole episode of just naming guys that have been on this team for years, and it seems like it's just going to be another repeating cycle. And I think like the biggest thing, and like obviously the name of today's episode is, could it be worse than last year? Are we going to really only win like 30, 35 games? Because that's the way it's looking.
It's definitely feasible. I haven't seen anything to make me think otherwise. I mean, yeah, these guys might come up and be all right, but
I mean, I don't know. I just want to see a couple good months of baseball where like these guys actually play, or like how the Barons played for a minute, where when they won and they were winning the thing last year. I forgot what the heck they call their championship. But
The big two to highlight: Shane Smith, Martin Perez. Obviously, we mentioned Perez will likely be traded by the deadline. Those two are really the only ones that I feel like have given me any confidence on the mound after like 2 rounds through the rotation or whatever, or 3 now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Half of them have gotten 3.
I think this upcoming will be because Burks was second was yesterday, right?
I really don't know what they're going to do. They have Nick Nastrini in AAA, which, I mean, if Cannon's only giving you 3 or 4 innings a game, that's not going to fly very long, especially because it's not like every game is no runs. Today I got burned quite a bit there, so
And it was after the first 2 hitters. Like they got a run today, and then the first 2 hitters came up, and it was 2-1. And I was like, really? I dropped off my car today because I had to get it fixed. I'm like, so this is really what I get to do now? Sit at home and watch these guys? I'm like, this sucks.
I didn't even watch today. I can't even get it. It's hard during the workday because I can't get it on my Xbox. The app isn't on the Xbox, so I can't have it on in my room. So I just watched. I had the Masters on behind me. Like,
it's a shame that you are paying. They are charging us $20 a month to watch this every single.
It is a shame. It's a shame
that I have to spend $20 of my hard-earned money to watch a baseball team lose. And the problem is like you said, 0 runs. They need to score more than 5 runs and not give up more than 2 to be able to win a game, because they need to have like that 3-run cushion in the ninth, because we all know the bullpen will come in and at least give up 1 or 2. Because even like in a couple of the games, I think the games that we did win, I think they did come in and they gave up a couple runs. So it's just like, I don't know. And this offense ain't scoring 9 runs a game. It might score 9 runs every month.
Yeah, right. 9 in a week seems about a fair ask right now.
one a game is how I'm feeling right now. And they shorted. The last time we had a home run was when Brooks Baldwin hit a home run in the game that you were at, Deech, when they had 7 seasons and they had 6-hour rain delay.
So they didn't homer this entire road trip?
No.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of one.
I need to take your approach and just stop watching. What's the Masters on?
Yeah, well, that was on ESPN today. It'll be on ESPN again tomorrow. It's about wrapping up, I think.
We're going to cover the Masters. Screw it.
I know we mentioned the weather, like, after the first week when you're like, okay, we've played okay, but like, maybe some of these guys aren't hitting because of the weather. After the Detroit and Cleveland series, it's like, well, other teams seem to have no issue hitting, so that excuse has obviously run its course. Someone posted on Twitter, I saw something about Robert's numbers just when it's cold out, and they're beyond horrendous.
Maybe they should have. I was thinking about yesterday. I'm like, maybe they should have traded his ass, because now they ain't gonna get nothing for him if he continues like this. And it just. Yeah.
That is somewhat of a segue. I mean, what if Robert just is mediocre and gets 0 trade interest at the deadline of like even worth? Do you just flip him just to get rid of his? I mean, his contract, technically you could just decline his option if you really wanted to next year.
I get something for him. I mean, I don't know.
I don't care. Yeah, whatever they want to do with him. I mean, it's just one of those. He's just another bad body language guy. And it's just like, I know the talent's there, I think. I mean, I don't know. He was really good 2 years ago when they were awful. So he's proven he can play on bad teams. But I think that it's probably just sucked the life out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of him and Vaughn are like the last ones standing. But like, even he was there before Vaughn.
Yeah, that's true.
For the fake season. When vibes are probably at their highest.
You said fake season.
Well, and Andrew Vaughn's a whole nother subject. I was really like hoping him not really having a secured future after the season might sit and give him a nice swift kick in the ass, but apparently that had no effect on him. So it's still like the same Andrew Vaughn at bat. Someone throws like a breaking ball on the outer half of the plate. He swings and hits it straight into the fucking ground. Double play. I mean, it's just getting frustrating to watch, but.
And how is it that we're 12 games in and it's already unwatchable? We haven't hit WrestleMania yet, and WrestleMania is next week. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like it's just like are we really gonna be done after April again? I was just
Yeah,
hoping.
we're already done. It's April 10th.
He said we're already done. I mean, troll. I mean,
Now, realistically, they were done before there was even a pitch thrown this season. If you're from a realist, like
you know how we have like fake winter and fake spring. They gave us a fake winning team on opening day. Is what they did. They
yeah,
like they
yeah,
like they like learned how to like they were. Oh man, I just can't.
yeah.
I don't even know what to like.
There's just not as much to discuss when you just play this poor of baseball over.
I don't think that they realize that like that's how like they make it harder for us, all the White Sox podcasts and all the White Sox fans in general to talk about any of this because there's nothing to talk about, and I cannot imagine the people that have to cover this on Chicago Sports Network, whatever the hell, like whatever the hell they're calling it. Like they got to do this, and like obviously we do this and everything, but I mean, it just.
Now, Justin, you said you turned off the game yesterday before it ended. Did you know Talkman got hurt right away or no?
Yeah, I got a text about it, and then I saw it on Twitter. Obviously, it was everywhere immediately, like the most White Sox way to lose a game. Like, yeah. So I mean, yeah, I knew that it happened because I got the notification that they scored, and then I got one that the game was over like immediately after. So I was like, oh, that's weird. And then obviously because it happened on the same play, that I got him pretty much at the same time. So yeah, then I had the text and it was like he got hurt rounding third and went right to Twitter and saw it immediately. So news travels fast, I suppose.
I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like I heard John. He said he's like Miguel hits it through, and then he goes, "Oh no!" And I'm like, "Oh, you." I'm like, what the?
That wasn't even John Triffin's first time around the fucking rodeo either. I mean, he had the same oh no reaction like 2 times last season when I think it was Yohan and Robert were turning a base and they blew out whatever they decided to hurt themselves. I mean. It's not even like this is like a multi-year span that you have to look back. I just don't understand. I can't look. When you look around the league, is there any other team where you see this happening like multiple times a season?
So somebody said it. I saw it on Twitter. Maybe it was this morning or yesterday. Do you guys think that we're cursed because of the Yerman Mercedes 3-0 home run? That I feel like that's when all of this started. And somebody said it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Are we cursed because of Yerman freaking Mercedes?
No. I mean, yeah, that second half of that season, they really weren't that good. I don't remember when that happened relative to their. Felt like there was still a little bit of good baseball left in the tank after that. I think
it's the goose.
Just cursed with ineptitude.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you sent the video earlier. Lance Lynn was sitting there blasting pretty much the whole organization. So,
yeah, that's gotten a lot of people upset on Twitter.com.
Still is going on. Like he hasn't even been there though. So like, who is he talking to? Like, are him and Vaughn best friends? Then maybe get Vaughn out. And like you said, maybe that's the issue. Maybe we just need to get rid of everybody. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I you know what? I've said this on here definitely multiple times, but like. Everybody shit on Keuchel on his way out of town because of the way he talked about the clubhouse. And it was just like, oh, he's just mad that he got left off the playoff roster. Yeah, we were holier than thou, high and mighty. He's just a washed up bum. Everything he said ended up being true. So when you have veterans who've been around the league go on and trash how things are done here, I believe it. And I'm sorry I'm getting a call again. My mom's doing my taxes.
Yeah, I feel you. Hey, that's okay. No problem. Just let me know when you're back.
Yep.
But yeah, so go ahead.
But no, I mean, that Talkman injury, it just brings you like flashback. I mean, I was at the game when Robert initially blew out his hip. Justin was with me at that game. We were like super hyped, all like kind of buzzed going into the game. We're all kind of rowdy, amped. And like after that, it just sucked the life out of you. the Talkman, it's almost like we've become numb to when these injuries happen. Not that they're not bad or anything like that, but I just don't think other fan bases realize like there's injuries all throughout the league, but the amount that White Sox fans have seen over the amount of injuries we've seen over the last even just 5 seasons is
I mean, since like
abysmal. It's
I
insane.
feel like since 2016. I mean, it's been since like the Jimmy Rollins, the Brett Lorries, the fucking like it's just all of these guys and all of these players that they've brought in and brought up and brought like in and out, left and right. It never freaking ends, and it's the fact that these guys just continue to do it, and it's just like that's why I don't know what it is because it's like as soon as they leave like there's some type of issue that like there's some type of secret issue that's going on that nobody knows about that obviously nobody can fix because this isn't again it's not just the White Sox, it's all it seems like it's all the Chicago sports teams too. And I mean I'm not saying it's Jerry, I'm not saying it's anything like this and that, but it's got to be something to where I mean again Chicago is one of the biggest sports cities in the world, and the fact that they have last year, I think we all, including the Cubs, were like the worst teams in all of sports. Like the winning percentage in states, like the worst was Chicago. And obviously, losing 121 games doesn't help. But I mean, it's just like we should be at least excited to watch baseball. I mean, the fact that like I mean, even like the Rocky fans, like the Rock. I mean, it just I don't know, man. And I feel bad for you. I'm not even in the state anymore. You still go to the games. I'm so I'm like happy I didn't go to opening day, and I'm mad I didn't go to opening day because who knows when the hell they'll win again. And they still haven't even sent me my free tickets for fucking Sox Fest. I better get front row. There's gonna be nobody at that damn stadium. I want front row seats. The fuck, man.
I just vibe at the stadium regardless. I mean, at this point, nothing can be more painful than the last couple of years. So, I mean, it just kind of is what it is.
Let me ask you, when was the last time you enjoyed being a White Sox fan before the fake season?
Before that's the thing. I've never really not enjoyed being a White Sox fan. I mean, there are times obviously where it sucks, but
Is there just like a season or a time or like that like you remember like okay, like I don't know why for me, like it was always like and like they weren't like the greatest, but like the years when like Beckham was had a couple walk offs or like they were winning a few games, or I remember the one game they beat Aroldis Chapman and he it was like his first ever blown save on the Reds or something like that. I forgot what year exactly it was, but is there like a year like that like you just like enjoyed going to the games, or there were a bunch of walk offs, or like I went to the one game on 4th of July when Avi freaking robbed that home run. Bro, I've never been so excited in a White Sox game in my life. And like even like that, like if we could just get some wins like that, it makes like and like when the hell did we get that Benintendi walk off? Wasn't it like the end of April last year? I don't know if I can wait
that
till
was
the
probably more May.
was it May?
See, that's the thing. When I'm at a game, there's generally, or during a season, there's generally a couple games that stick out. Like, for example, there was a game my brother was with me, and Gavin Sheets hit a grand slam, and it was cool because I've seen grand slams before in person, but my brother had never seen a grand slam in person. So, I mean, there's certain things that stick out with every season that I kind of have in my memory or can at least embrace. Last year, the Benintendi walk off, that was pretty awesome. I mean, this season we did get the home opener. I mean, we won that.
So you're telling me I had to live off one game? Man, I'm trying to have
I'm
like
not
a
gonna live off of
game.
one game. I mean,
Shit.
even Shane Smith's debut, that was fun up until obviously.
See, like that's a perfect example. Like games like that, and it would have been even better if they could have just fucking won. I think
Yeah,
that's why I'm frustrated. Like those are the games that you should be winning. Like I'm not asking you to win every game, but win the Shane Smith, win the 3-1 in the ninth inning. Like it's not like I get it. We don't have Liam Hendricks anymore. It's we don't the closing position is so hard. But you gotta find that guy that can go out there and do that, or we're gonna be losing games like this for the next 10 years. Because it's sad. And it's sad that the last guy we did have was Liam Hendricks. And I think he's on the Red Sox now. Shit, watch. He'll pitch this week and he'll close out a game. Garrett Crochet starts on Sunday and Liam Hendrick closes it out and the Sox lose 1-0. Watch. Watch. That's exactly what bullshit is going to happen. I don't even know if Liam Hendricks is on the team, but he'll
No,
come up just on Sunday. Like that's
I don't know.
our luck.
After last year, I mean, last year sucked everyone into being very active and stuff. This year, they were never going to be great this year.
No.
That was the thing, and I flat out knew that, which is
No.
fine. Chris Getz obviously isn't going anywhere, so you kind of just have no other choice other than to somewhat buy into his plan and hope it works out. So, I mean, even bringing up the Shane Smith start or his debut, he pitched well. He's a young guy who clearly is going. I mean, if he continues on the path he's on, is obviously going to solidify himself as one of the starting pitchers for the foreseeable future, obviously, and I would assume into what they expect their next contention window to be. So it's almost like you have to start nitpicking like performance as opposed of like single players or certain things that take place in the game that are positive for the future.
So they did not get they did not get their third win last year until they defeated the Royals on April 17th. They were 3-15. They are 3-10.
Yeah, I mean they're not much better
They're
than
2-10.
I don't know.
That's my thing.
I'm thinking they will pull at least one game out against Boston at home.
I mean, that's my thing. Like, are we really like gonna lose? Like, we won 41 games last year. Like, I don't know if I can take losing 6 more, including the 120 plus or 110 that I've already. Now we have to continue to watch. Like, I just want to see better than 41. I'm not asking to win 70, 80. Not my my dad called me. He's talking to me this. I don't know what he was watching. He goes, the Sox are gonna win 80 games. I'm like, what are you smoking? I'm like, what are you drinking? What are you putting in your Tito's? I'm like, are we watching the same team? Are you watching like 2005? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm not asking them to win that. I just want to see like 60, like I said.
Justin's back.
Okay.
We were just kind of going on little tangents there.
I love it. I don't care. Yeah. Oh yeah. Romy Gonzalez is on the freaking Red Sox. Home run incoming.
Oh, that's funny.
That. What is it? And isn't it sad that you could probably look at every team in baseball and find one player that was a former White Sox. I bet you, any amount of money, almost every team, one ex-White Sox on it. It's crazy, and they all somehow find a way because I think Romy's actually been doing pretty good. So, yeah. And I don't even know if I want to predict these next 6 games. I just want to know if we win one.
0-6.
He said 0-6.
All right, well we could just go on record then at this point. We've gotten to that point of the episode. 3 against Boston, 3 against the Athletics. Justin, are you committing to 0-6?
Yeah, until they win again. I'll just ride a winless. Yeah.
Dino, what do you got?
Imagine if they go 200. Man, I'd fucking cry. No, I think obviously Sunday is going to be a very good game. Shane Smith against Garrett Crochet. And for the people that are watching, and I'll obviously do it, but your boy Tino will be going live for that game on Sunday. So join me as we go live for the first time on the channel and watch a White Sox game. Yes, I know I'm torturing myself and putting myself through it, but that's okay. So make sure you join us. But that game should be really good. And yes, Athletics always whoop our butts and everything else like that. But as Justin said, it's at the point where until they prove it to me, I'm just gonna continue to say they're gonna lose because it's like a relation. It's like an abusive relationship. It's like until you prove to me that you can actually do something, I don't believe a word that you say or a word that comes out of your mouth because they could have a 6-run lead in the 9th inning, and I still feel like they're gonna lose. Like even when they were winning on opening day, I'm like, are they really gonna lose? And until that last out, I'm like, oh my god. It's just never easy to be a White Sox fan. It's not. And it's sad because it shouldn't be like this. And if we really are 2-16 next week, I'm done. Oh wait, speaking of that, I won't even be here next week. So Deech, you are taking over next week. So that's right. Love to see it.
The all right, well, I can't also just be like I'm also going to say we're going to be 0-6. So I'll knock it down one notch. We are going to go 2-4 over the next week.
I love.
I think we'll seal one against Boston and one against the Athletics.
Which one is it on against Boston? Do you think?
Probably I would guess Saturday, just because it's Martin Perez versus a guy with a 4 ERA, but that clearly doesn't matter because we just played Cleveland pitchers who had like 6 ERAs. And
I forgot who said it last year, but it's like every team that comes and plays us, they just like find everything clicks. Because the Guardians were 3-6 when they started this series, and now they're at 500, and now their Athletics are going to be at 500, and it's just like.
So yeah, I'll say 2-4 over the next week. Hopefully,
they're not in Oakland, by the way. They're here for the the 8th series. Is at home.
Oh, it's that's right. That's right. It is because
okay.
Then they go to Boston. That's what it is. That's right.
Okay.
Right. So they play 6. Okay. So I mean, either way, I mean, it does. I mean, we saw what happened last year. We were talking about earlier. They just ran around the bases and got the guy to third base, and then hit a pop fly, and they lost. And I think it was one game they literally did that, and they lost like 3-0, and that's how they got their runs. It was a bunch of sacrifices and fly balls, and that's what the A's do. So I don't think where we play will matter. I just think that they need to. Hopefully the weather's nice and they'll learn how to hit and have some revenge. I mean, some of the guys, and I mean, most of the guys on our team are from the Red Sox organization. So, and is it? You said Mydriff is from that trade, is he? Because honestly, I really don't know too much about.
Yeah.
Is he okay? That was like the one trade I honestly did not even pay attention to, and I usually am good on that, and I just never looked at.
You should have, man. That's the only trade that I can.
Yeah.
I saw Teal in Montgomery. Well, I saw Teal in Montgomery. I just didn't know Chase just like when they traded on for Yohan Moncada and freaking who else did they get in that? I forgot who.
Kopech.
Oh, Kopech. But then they got Basabi. Remember? He was that guy. I was like, who the hell is this? So it's always that guy. But listen, can't keep up on everybody, man.
Yeah, we're all hanging all of our hopes onto the Garrett Crochet trade leading to success here, because I don't know that I'm fully out on the Eric Fetty trade where we got, or no, that one I am pretty out on it. Not the Dylan Cease one.
Oh,
I don't know the Drew Thorpe. But it's still pretty bad. I mean,
he got swindled on that one.
I mean, he did.
No two ways about it.
Dylan Cease is not pitching the greatest. And I think that's the other thing is like all these guys that are like that were on this past team, most of them aren't even in the majors anymore. Like Lopez,
Lopez is in the Braves rotation. He's hurt right now.
Well, yeah, not Lopez. I freaking lost my train of thought.
That's the thing, though. The White Sox should not be like every single player that is in the majors when they get close to being up from a contract. It should not be a continuation of, well, we're just letting every single player go. I mean, at a certain point, if you have a good player, I'm not saying, obviously at this point, what's done is done. The Garrett Crochet trade does look a lot more promising with the guys that we acquired, but the Dylan Cease one, now that Drew Thorpe's hurt, like Sammy Zavala, I cannot say I ever expect him to make it to the majors. I mean, he could, but who knows? And Steven Wilson, that's another one. I get he's not on the 40-man roster because they DFA'd him and then he didn't elect to free agency, but why not throw him in the bullpen? He wasn't that bad last year compared to the nonsense we have going on here.
I don't know. I didn't watch enough last year to be able to give an honest any sort of assessment on that. I'll take you at your word, though. I mean, these guys can't get anybody out.
4 straight pitches. That just blew my mind. Just not finding the zone at all. And that was Sean Burke yesterday, too. You turn on the game and you watch the first 2 at-bats and you're like, Holy shit, he just threw 8 straight balls. Like, are we about to just implode fully here?
Well, and I
So,
think that's the biggest problem is like the weight. I think like it'd be fine if Jose, like I said earlier, Jose Ramirez, it's a walk off home run. That's fine. That's what he usually does. He's freaking Jose Ramirez. But find the freaking strike zone and don't give these guys free passes or these pass balls, and all these guys are just running around the bases because that's or the errors like the one that freaking Sosa made today. It was like what like it's a routine ground ball, bro. Like freaking pick it up and throw it and it just like, come on. And then Stephen Kwan bunted the ball and got a base hit, and everybody looked at each other. It was like, what are we doing?
this is more of a hypothetical. I guess I have trouble understanding why any of these players would necessarily, I mean, certain ones, okay, yes, feel pressure. Why would you, what pressure would you really feel after losing 121 games or whatever last year? I don't know. I can't tell if some of these players just, if it's early season jitters or what it is, but it's not like a ton of us are expecting them to go win 90 games, obviously. So,
Yeah, I gotta love it. I don't know. I think that's all I got though for you for the week.
yeah, that's all I got, honestly.
I'm done venting. Well, okay, I'm not done venting because I still got a lot to talk about. But for the White Sox, I'm done venting. Usually by this time, I feel better after a loss, like a day game. Usually by now, I'm like, okay, now I can watch something on TV and relax. Because first like hour pisses me off, especially when they lose in certain ways, like yesterday. And listen, I don't. It just hopefully Mike Talkman gets better and back before you know it. But yeah, I don't know.
Can't let it bother you, Tino.
Oh yeah. Listen, I just listen. It's frustrating, man. Sports are everything, especially when you know. Well, yeah, I don't know. So next week, you two will be here. You two gonna hold it down next week. You guys got this. You know the plan, game plan, all this and that.
Yep.
Yep.
Guys, these two will be over. These two will be taking over next week. As I will not be here. Yes, I know. First time I will ever not be here for a Southside Boys episode. So sad. Watch, it will be the best episode yet. No, but I'll be here Sunday watching Red Sox, White Sox, and hopefully see a White Sox win. Hopefully Garrett Curtis doesn't slow them down too much. But make sure you also go follow all the social medias, all that good stuff, merchandise. Make sure you become a member over on Tino's Time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button over here if you have not yet. Go follow all the social medias on X, Twitter, TikTok. I can't, all of them. You know where to find us. But also go check out the Main Event Network crew, the OTM guys over there. We'll be live all week next week for WrestleMania week. I cannot believe it's already here. But guys, thank you as always for joining us for the Southside Boys. Hopefully the White Sox win a game, and we'll see you next week. Guys, enjoy your week, and as Deech told me, don't let it bother you too much.